8.2 quotient and remainder. So those are going to be our major vocabulary words for this lesson. And we are going to be dividing a 1-digit or 2-digit number by a 1-digit number with or without a remainder. So 2 children share 8 pails equally. How many pails does each child have? So what we're thinking here now is 8 pails getting divided by 2 because it's sharing equally between the children. Now if we were to create these two groups and then equally share or do repeated subtraction, we would then find that each child would have 4. Now, each child has 4 pails. How many pails are left over? So since there was no leftovers, that would mean we have no remainder. Okay, but 4 here, the 4 pails is the quotient. So a quotient is the answer to a division problem. In the division fact, 8 divided by 2 equals 4. The quotient is 4. So thinking back to previously in this year, we've gone over all of the different ways we refer to an answer based on the operation that we're doing. So addition, we call it the sum. Subtraction is the difference. Multiplication is the product. And now for division, the answer is the quotient. Okay, so that's going to be really important, especially when you guys get to word problems and things like that, and they're asking you to find the quotient. That'll be your clue right away to know that you have to do division. So 4 children share 11 seashells equally. How many seashells does each child have? So we're taking 11 and splitting it equally into 4 groups. So what they did was they went and shared it, and then we have this extra over here. Okay, so with that being said, the answer would be that each group is getting 2 ones, and then we've 3 ones that are left over. So when we do division, oftentimes there is a remainder if it doesn't fit evenly. So sometimes you're going to see it written like this, where it says 2R3. When you see that capital R, that's your clue for a remainder. Okay, so 11 divided by 4 equals 2R3, which is just 2, and then a remainder of 3 that don't fit. Because if we think about taking these 3, if we tried to add them here, then this last group wouldn't have one. It would only have 2, and then you're not sharing it equally. Some groups have 3, and then the one group has 2, so that doesn't work. So a remainder is the number left over from a division problem, and we will do a lot of practice with that. All right, so 3 friends share 17 starfish equally. How many starfish does each friend have? So they created the 3 groups for us, and then they started sharing the 17 equally. Okay, then this shows us that in each group we have 5 and then 2 left over. So the way that we would write that is 5 are, and make sure it's a capital, 2. So now quotient means your answer, how many fit equally into the group. So there's 5 that fit equally, and then the remainder is those that are left over that don't fit in the group, and there would be 2. Okay, so again, 17 divided by 3 would give us 5, remainder 2. So each friend has 5 starfish, and how many starfish are left over? There are 2 left over because that is our remainder here. All right, so now 21s divided by 3. So what you can do is you can do the groups if that's helping you for now. So what we can do, we'll do the first one with a picture and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let me switch colors here. All right, so we'll start sharing these. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, we have 2 left to do, but if we do 19, 20, then that means this one's going to have less. So we're going to put our 2 to the outside. So now, once we divide by 3, in our group we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with a remainder of 2. So that means our quotient is 6, and the remainder is 2. Now, I'm going to show you a little something. So, if you do quotient times what you're dividing by this 3, which is known as the divisor, which we will talk more about. So whatever you get to that, you get, and I'll plug this all in for you. Oops. Equals that plus remainder. So if you do quotient, so this is how you can check your answer, 6 times our divisor, which is what you're dividing by 3, equals 18 plus our remainder was 2. It will give you what you started with, which is known as the dividend. So we will go over that more, but this is how you can check your answer, okay? So now, for this part, we will think about it without our picture. So we're doing 43 divided by 5. So what you can start thinking about is how many times does 5 go into 43 without going over. So if you run through and skip count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. If we go up again, that would be 45. That brings us over. So that was 8 times, gave us 40. So then we can use and think about this here. So if we have our quotient, which is 8, we multiply by our divisor, which is 5, which gives us 40, but we're starting with 43, which means there were 3 that weren't included. So 3 would be our remainder here. All right, so you have your let's practice to do on here. So I will add to the slide my example here of how to check your answer, but think about it in reverse, okay? Think about what times the divisor gets you close to that dividend number, which is the first one. So how many times can 4 go into 16? So that should be a quick multiplication fact that we remember off the bat and know that 4 times 4 gives us 16. So we will not have a remainder here. Now if we look at this one, 15 ones divided by 2. So think about 15 is an odd number. If we are dividing by 2, there's definitely going to be a remainder. So think what times 2 gets us close to 15 without going over, and then how much is left. So 2 times 7 gives us 14 with 1 left over, so there would be 1 remainder, okay? And then please do not forget, a lot of you skipped your workbook. You guys do not have 3A workbook with you. It is at school. So you are doing your workbook pages the rest of the school year on Classkick. So you have this slide, which is slide 11, and then you have slide 12 here, and then once you reach 8.3 here, stop. Okay, so you have 3 slides that you are doing today, and then raise your hand on all of them once you finish.